Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching from. It's good morning for me, and maybe as you can see, it's a wee bit chilly. I'm in England. So welcome. I can see some people joining in. We are live on Facebook in various groups. We're live on YouTube and we're live on LinkedIn. So welcome. And just while some people are coming in, this is a chance for you to ask me anything. I don't have any special guest today. Sometimes I do. If you would like to be my special guest, if you know somebody who would be an awesome guest, please let me know. We're always very keen to have different experts talking about different topics. We're lining up all of our guests for the next academic year now. So let me know if you'd like to come on, if you have something to say. If you're an expert in some aspect of parenting or education, I'd love to hear from you. So for today, it's just myself. Ask me anything about UK independent schools or Hong Kong international schools. So no special agenda. So for today, I have something to offer you. But before I do, and just waiting for people to come in. So this is a very special day for me, actually, personally, if you indulge me for a moment for sharing. I set up Top Schools in 2012, and my firstborn was born in 2005. Um, and so it's been a journey for me, from having little children to having bigger ones. And today, my eldest is taking her final A level exam. She'll be done in about half an hour, I think. And then she's done with school, and that's it. So, as a parent, I will have successfully, I hope, put one child through school in Hong Kong and finishing off in the UK due to various reasons, notably COVID. It wasn't ever my intention to do the UK, but life happens. So, yeah, as a business owner, it's been a journey, of course, especially the last few years, but it feels like a bit of a milestone. So I just thought I'd share that with you. If you talk to me as an expert, as a consultant, as an advisor, just remember I'm a parent too, and for me, it feels quite momentous that I've got one child who's completely finished school. And silver lining, well, actually, it felt very, very, very good to write the last check, to pay the last set of school fees. Let me tell you, that felt amazing. So yeah, that's some personal sharing. Thanks for questions that are coming in. I will definitely get to them. Haven't got too much more to say about random other things. The only other thing, what happened this morning? Oh, I woke up to an offer. We're still putting children into school for 2024. So, I mean, it's getting less and less likely. Obviously, it's June the 6th today. But yeah, that was really just the best news ever, and the WhatsApps from the parents. So it still is possible, but of course, I'm also almost a full caseload for 2025 entry just now. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about Hong Kong international schools or UK independent schools, let's have your questions. So, hi Isaac. Oh my goodness. Right. So we're talking about UK independent schools here. I cannot comment on politics. I'm going to try and keep this factual. Okay. Now, the facts are that Labour have said that they are going to remove the luxury, or most UK independent schools are registered charities, and as such, they're tax exempt. And education is not a vatable service either. But Labour have said that if they get into government, they're going to impose VAT, value added tax, onto school fees for private, i.e., any fee paying school. So that would effectively um, increase the fees that parents would need to pay by 20%. Um, I'll keep my views to myself on this. Now, what some schools have said, there's been a mixed response to this. Of course, the UK independent sector is vehemently against it, as we all believe that it will harm the sector and therefore harm the children. So what some schools have done is to obviously oppose this publicly. There's a change.org petition going around. There's a very um, active number of heads and MPs that are the opposition voice on this. Some schools have said that they will absorb the fees. I'm really uncertain about that. Where are the cutbacks? How are they going to absorb these fees? For those parents who are already enrolled, a number of schools are offering them the chance to prepay up to about 2 years in advance, I think, to avoid this, at least for the prepayment. Yes, look, Isaac, I think they've said that they are. I think Keir Starmer said the other night on the debate that that is what they're going to do. It sucks. Not, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't get too much into this. Look, private education is mega expensive. Just to maybe I'm going to swerve the question slightly, but somebody said to me this week that it's just out of budget. It's just too expensive to send a child to the UK for their education. A couple of things to say on that. Lots and lots of bursaries and scholarships available. Genuinely, there are, especially if your child has something a little bit interesting or different about them. So don't be put off. Certainly in the first instance, don't be dissuaded. And this applies to Hong Kong schools as well. Don't be dissuaded from applying to a school because on the surface of it, it looks expensive. That would be my first piece of advice. And the second thing is that look at the budget. Don't just look at the school fees, but look at what that includes. So if you are sending them to the UK for boarding, you're going to have no more additional tuition costs. Well, let me just say an awful lot less in additional tuition costs and extracurricular activities. From personal experience with the students that I've supported to enter the UK, additional costs that you're likely to end up paying are very minimal. If you do get private tuition or learning support, something like that, it's generally about £40 an hour, which is an awful lot less than the Hong Kong rate. So, like my daughter, for example, does extra Chinese. I think it's £40 per hour. Learning support would be on top. Examination fees are always on top regardless. Very minimal expenses otherwise. Trips, but those are always on top, even for Hong Kong schools. Very minimal expenses. Something like the Duke of Edinburgh Award is extremely inexpensive. So I would say that if you are concerned about the expense of sending a child to any school, whether it's in Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, wherever, dig a bit deeper into what the fees cover. I mean, I've said this before, if you look at a Hong Kong school, the Hong Kong school market, if you look at ESF, for example, they're very well known for being, a little bit more reasonable on the fees, but there's an awful lot of extras and there's an awful lot that's not included, right? An awful lot that's kind of just left out that you would find included with some other schools. So things like subscriptions for various other platforms, complementary learning resources, textbooks, Could be examination fees, though those are usually on top. What else? Yeah, it's expensive. I'm afraid there's no getting away from it, but it does require a little bit more of a forensic look at the value and what you get for what you pay. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for your question, Isaac. Um, it's an interesting proposition. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, shall we? Right. Do I have any other questions? I can see some more people joining. What else did I have to tell you? Oh, I can't remember. It's completely gone out of my head. I'm sorry. The cold has got to me. So, do you have any other questions about anything related to schools or education? Um, I hope that you're all gearing up for your summer holidays. If you're interested in summer schools in the UK, there still are some spots left. I get emails about, well, quite a number of emails about that every single day. What else? Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was going to offer, yes, I did make you I said at the beginning that I was going to give you an offer. We have partnered with Cambridge Chem. They are the Centre for Evaluation and Monitoring in the UK, and they do a number of benchmarking tests. And I think most of you know that we offer these tests. If you would like to know, where your child is in terms of their academics, because a lot of the schools don't do this, or the schools that even do it don't share the results with the parents, annoyingly. But a lot of the school reports are pretty vague these days. And so if you would like some quantitative benchmarking data for your child, we've offered those. We've offered those for a while, but they introduced a year or so ago. They introduced a Cambridge Wellbeing Check, which we've been offering out as well, and we've got a little bit of stock. We buy them; they're valid for the academic year. So they're going to redo it for next year. So if you're interested in a well-being check, now these are for children aged 7+. Your child will simply jump online and do a little bit of a survey in private, and it will ask some questions like, um, when I go to school, I feel happy all of the time, some of the time, most of the time, none of the time. And so there's a series of questions. It takes about 20 minutes, and you'll get a report on generally your child's well-being, their attitude, and their positivity in terms of life, not only and in the context of school. So yeah, I think this test is I'm not sure if we make me an offer. Make me no, let me see. I don't know. Put a comment if you're interested in having your child take this test. Write down well-being in the comments. I'll DM you and we'll work something out. Okay. All right. So thank you for your question, Sophia. I haven't read it yet. Sophia, are you talking about Hong Kong or UK? But I'll assume, well, either way. It depends. UK, yes, very, very much more flexible, but it does depend on the school. Um, in Hong Kong, they're kind of a bit less flexible on that. I mean, I would say that this is part of choosing a school. If it's going to be a deal breaker, you would have to have a conversation with the school about this, perhaps even before you apply. I mean, that's what we would do on behalf of our families. Um, but some schools do allow this with a private tutor. Some schools appoint their own tutor. They have a tutor that they work with, or a number of tutors that they work with. And in some cases, it's possible for you to have your own tutor online. Slightly related to this, but bit different, is that if it's a first language, I mean, look, you can also do them in centres outside of school. So if the school doesn't support it, you can enroll in various centres. In Hong Kong, you can enroll with the Hong Kong Examinations Authority, and there's a couple of private centres that do them as well. So there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. But the other issue that you might run into is if the school doesn't offer the language that your child wants, then are they going to then insist that your child studies the language that they do offer? So we have this sometimes with children going to the UK, for example, that have never studied French or Spanish, and that's what the school offers. And in the UK, most of the children will start learning French or Spanish from year 6 or year 7s. And if a child's entering in year 9, they're really they're reluctant to do so. They'll be on the back foot and always be playing catch up. So we have those chats with schools in advance. Um, so it's part of the choice of school, I would guess. I mean, choosing the language, choosing your subjects, not only language choice, but subjects. So we've seen schools that are offering double science instead of triple science. We facilitated a switch recently for that reason. Schools that don't offer certain subjects. A smaller school will be a lot more restrictive in the subjects that they can offer. I mean, GCSE, there should be plenty of choice, but then A level, there's a lot less choice. Right. Thank you for your question, Sophia. I hope I answered it. Any more questions for me? I'm not going to be here next week. I've got something on, so apologies for that. And I might sort of start to take a bit more of a break during the summer. Hello, Eva. Summer courses or camps in Hong Kong, creative writing. Exam prep for 30 mil. That's a bit different, isn't it? Sevenoaks. Do they still have places available? Now, do check Sevenoaks. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Most of these schools don't run their own summer schools. Most of them bring in an external provider. I'm not sure if that's the case for Sevenoaks. Sevenoaks is one of the only IB schools, or one of a small number of IB schools in the UK. Creative writing in Hong Kong. Oh gosh, you're asking me on the spot. Kelly Yang always used to do some good work. I've seen some of the students from there. I don't know if Elephant Press are still in operation. Kids Gallery, depending on the age of your child, but I'm assuming that they're 10, 11, 12. 13 plus prep. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the Sevenoaks. There's lots and lots of choices. DM me or email me if you're looking for UK summer programs. I said at the top of the call, I'm not sure if you were with me either, that there's lots of space left in some of the summer programs. Yeah, 11 years old. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope your child enjoys writing. That's a gift if they do. Well done. I've got a daughter going to study English at uni. That was pretty obvious from a very, very young age. All right, so I won't be here for next week. I'll be back the week after. If you have any special guests that you would like to refer to me, I'm firming up that schedule for next year. If you would like to come on and share with us, we've got some excellent experts talking about all sorts of interesting topics. So I'm excited about that. So I'll leave you to the rest of your evening. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for your questions, Isaac, Sophia, Eva, or Eva. I'm Ruth from Top Schools, and I'll see you next time. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.